Alright guys, welcome to your late night NXT review. Last week I did this review in the park, this week we're doing it in the shed. Honestly, don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade, but yeah, there'll be no screaming tonight, don't want to get affected by the neighbours, but luckily this was a pretty good show, so there is no need to really go mental, go crazy, rant on anything, to be honest. NXT is my favourite show out of all the shows, and this was a really solid week this week from NXT. So we kick off with Roxanne Perez. She's like found in the parking lot. She's been attacked. She gets found by Cora Jade. Cora Jade is like, annoyed. She's screaming. There's officials everywhere. They're screaming. I mean, the acting was a little bit bad, but at least it was like, you were intrigued. You're like, what the fuck's going on here? Why is this crazy scare-looking chick screaming like mental? And then some guy that looks like William Regal appeared out of nowhere. I think it might be Robbie Brookside. I don't know who it is, but I mean, he appeared on screen. The commentators then, Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett, put up with the fact that they don't know who attacked Roxanne Perez, and that's not the way they were expected to start the show. Then we get our first match of the night, Apollo Crews versus Giovanni Fininci. And Fininci beats Crews in a pretty good match. Shia Quinn came out late on and attacked Apollo Crews. They've had a bit of a bit of a tense, not really in a rivalry, but they've seen each other backstage, and basically Apollo Crews, I think, was standing up to Quinn, threatening Quinn. And this is Quinn's way of getting revenge, I guess, by costing Apollo Crews the match here. And Giovanni Fininci remains unbeaten on the NXT. So yeah, a pretty good opening match. We then get Tiffany Stratton, a backstage segment where she's getting her nails done, and throughout the nail session it's showing you like highlights, and she's like talking over her rivalry, her feud with I forget the chick that looks like a baby, the one that dresses in the fucking Onzi, whatever her name is, but anyway, yeah, the Chinese person, but anyway, she's talking over her feud, and it was pretty cool because it was actually a segment where she's getting her nails done, but at the same time, it was like a recap of what has been happening between those two. Wendy Chu, yeah, so it's a recap of what's been happening between Stratton and Wendy Chu, and then when Stratton's she tells the receptionist that the nail person wasn't that good, but she's not going to leave a bad review. So, I mean, it was alright. I mean, nothing great, but it was nice to see Tiffany Stratton on TV, on screen. Then we get JD Mcdonald comes out to pour salt on the wounds of Cameron Grimes, and then again, this is actually a decent promo for JD Mcdonald. I'll give him this. I mean, he's a lot better on the mic than Finn Balor. I mean, the reason I compare him to Finn Balor is because kind of looks a bit like Finn Balor, and they're both Irish, but I mean, I think this guy is, I mean, from what I've seen, I don't know in the ring, but he's better on the mic, 100%. He's got a better look than Finn Balor, he's got more charisma than Finn Balor, and he's a much better talker than Finn Balor. So he comes out, he basically says that Cameron Grimes is a loser. They end up coming to blows. JD McDonald with the headbutt, Cameron Grimes fights him back, and I guess they're going to have a match next week. We get Roderick Strong, who is not happy with Damon Kemp's excuses. Damon Kemp is thanking the Creed brothers for a good match. He wants to run it back. Kemp comes in not happy. Strong comes in not happy with Kemp, says that Kemp cost him the tag team titles last week. Then he challenges Kemp to a match next week. I just don't like this Diamond Mine. For me, I just don't like Diamond Mine. Never have, never will. Speaking of Diamond Mine, we get Tatum Paxley versus Caden Carter up next. Tatum Paxley's been taken under the wing by Niall, whatever the girl's called in Diamond Mine. Fuck it, I don't like Diamond Mine. Tatum Paxley wins, who cares? We then have Grayson Waller. He's blaming Wes Lee for his North American Championship loss, and I guess, fair enough. Wes Lee did get involved, so, I suppose he is to blame, really. And yeah, Grayson Waller blames Wes Lee for him losing, so I guess we'll get Grayson Waller versus Wes Lee in the future. Then we get Joe Gacy in a promo backstage, and Joe Gacy, this guy says nothing but says a lot at the same time. He throws a lot of words out there, but in actual reality, he's not saying a lot. This is the kind of guy that could probably say a 10,000 word essay but make 0 points. It's all mumble jumble. I really did like Joe Gacy when he was doing all the woke shit, but now that he's like just a B version of Bray Wyatt, I don't like him as much. Then, when we get one of the better segments of the show, Pretty Deadly confront Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen at like a bar, and they're coming in and they're dressed like, you know, fucking hillbillies. And they say, oh, these guys might impress you hillbillies, but they don't impress us, and they want to leave with the titles. We're almost getting a bar brawl, but the woman behind the bar jumps up and she says that they ain't going to be fighting here. If they want to fight, take it to the ring. So next week we're getting Pretty Deadly versus Josh Brooks and Brooke Jensen. But no, this is good. I mean, Pretty Deadly are growing on me. When I first seen them, I thought, who are these two fucking faggots? That's what I genuinely thought. But no, I mean, I kind of like Pretty Deadly, so that is what it is. Up next, we have Sagna versus Duke Hudson. Win for Duke Hudson. I really couldn't give a shit here. A win for Sagna. Don't like Sagna. I mean, and ever since they got rid of the whole quadruple love storyline, Duke Hudson's just going nowhere. I don't know, why did they get rid of, I forget the other chick's name, but why did they get rid of her and Dexter? I just don't get it. I mean, that was actually some of the best TV. They were producing some of the best segments of wrestling every week, and now they're gone. And Duke Hudson's career's going nowhere, and Indy Hartwell's going backwards. So I don't get it. We then had Solo Sikoa and Fonfagno. These two fought. They brawled. They could not. No one could beat each other. Both ended up getting double counted out, which didn't go down too well. They ended up brawling to the back. Fonfagno's manager got in Solo Sikoa's face, and then Solo Sikoa just grabbed him and tossed him into the rubbish, into the garbage. Just basically removed him, threw him into the trash where he belongs. There was also a segment, a match where Wade Barrett was talking about how when he was younger, he could have been part of the maximum male models. And Vic Joseph says, your face has been on ice ever since you were born. So no, your ass has been on ice ever since you were born. So Wade Barrett's making it as if he could have joined Maximum Male Models in 2015, but Vic Joseph just buries him. Basically says you've looked rough as fuck ever since you've been born. I like the commentary between Joseph and Wade Barrett. Good stuff. Love it. Like to see it. Hopefully give us more. We then get Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams celebrating. Basically, this was just them celebrating, partying with some hot chicks, drinking champagne, celebrating the title win, blowing each other fucking off here, essentially saying how good they are. But this was good, two guys partying, two guys celebrating, two guys on top of the world in the penthouse. It makes these guys look like stars, and they're surrounded by hot women, and I've seen hot women on the TVs, never going to get a bad thing from me. So a good segment. I really enjoyed it, and Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, don't split these two guys up, keep these guys going. I really enjoy these two, and they look like stars. So you could easily see these two on Raw or SmackDown, but I think they've got plenty of time left in NXT. Then we get Chase University taking a field trip to London, and what I really liked about this was, like last week, they mentioned that they were going to go on a field trip to London, but it wasn't just for. I thought it was just for the purpose of the segment, the promo, but it actually turns out they did go to London, so that was insane. They're obviously seeing the sights. Andrew Chase says that they're extending a building onto Buckingham Palace, and it's going to be Chase University, and he says he's getting knighted by the Queen, and he's going to be Sir Andrew Chase, or Sir Andre Chase, which is great. And then he's reading notes. He's reading reading what do you fucking call it, a speech. Yeah, he's reading a speech, and then he goes, Andre Chase University is the 7th best, and then he goes into a fucking meltdown because the guy that, I think it was Gary wrote the speech from, but Gary says Chase U is the 7th best university in the world, and Andre Chase is like, man, I ought to kick the fuck out of you right now, Gary, get out of here, you're fired, I don't ever want to see you again. And it was brilliant. I love Andre Chase, one of my favourite characters, not just in NXT, in the entire wrestling, business. So love Chase U 100%, and and I hope to see more of these segments. And I like the addition of Thea Hall. Obviously, I know they've always got background students and all this, but it seems to be these are the main three, and it's good. I like them. Right, then we get Indy Hartwell versus Lash Legend. Again, Lash Legend going nowhere ever since they got rid of Dexter. And Alba Fire returns, distracts Lash Legend. Indy Hartwell then tries to go for a springboard elbow or something, and she completely botches and just falls into the fucking ring, and then does an awkward roll up to get the win. And I just knew this was going to be a botch. Women just aren't as athletically gifted as men, you know. They don't have the ability, they don't have the agility, the balance. They're just not as good as the men. I don't think, anytime I see a woman attempting like a springboard, I always think, you know, this is going to go horribly wrong. And that's exactly what I thought when I seen Indy Hartwell go for it. She's not AJ Styles. She's never going to be AJ Styles. So yeah, I'm hardly surprised that she botched and fell on her ass. Good job she wasn't hurt, but I just don't try that again. Indy Hartwell gets the win. Then Alba Fire comes in with a bat, takes a swing at Lash Legend. Lash Legend makes her way out of there. We then get Tony D'Angelo and Stax taking on Malik Blade and Adrius Enofe. Easy win for Stax and D'Angelo after the match. D'Angelo orders Legado del Fantasma to beat up the black guy in the middle of the ring. Don't know which one it was, but he got beat up anyway. We then had Nikita Lyons backstage promo. She said she's been getting DM'd and messaged all night. Was she the one that attacked Roxanne Perez? She says that, yeah, she feels like if she didn't get injured that she would have won the Breakout Star tournament and that Roxanne Perez has got her title shot, but she says she's this type of woman that will say something to your face, and if she wanted to say something, she would have confronted Roxanne face to face. And she says if Roxanne Perez isn't able to compete tonight, then she will get dressed up and take her place. So yeah, I mean, Nikita Lyons was looking really big tonight, and I don't mean like thick or, you know, juicy or anything like that. I mean, she was looking fucking wide. I don't know if she's put a lot of weight on, but yeah, not a massive fan of Nikita Lyons, but I can see why she's getting pushed. I mean, she has fucking assets, to say the least, so nah, I totally get it. We then had a advertising segment promo for a vignette even for Aximo. He's the guy that's going to arrive next week. He's basically a guy that wears a mask and he does homework. Fucking, apparently he's good with numbers. I mean, I don't know why we care about this guy. I don't give a shit if he's good with numbers or not, but he's arriving next week. Yeah, I'm not pumped up about this Aximo guy. I mean, if he's good, but I'm not really expecting much. And then we get to the main event, Mandy Rose versus Roxanne Perez. And this was a good match. This was a good main event. Mandy Rose is criminally underrated. Her NXT title run campaign, reign or whatever, has been great, and she just doesn't get enough credit for it because she's not a typical, you know, indie wrestler. People don't like her because she came from like being a fitness model, blah blah blah. But Trish Stratus came from being a fitness model, and she's arguably the greatest of all time. So, I mean, it is what it is. But this was really good. Roxanne Perez did a dive and what do you call that? Suicide dive to the outside, but it was weird because she'd done it through the bottom rope. And I know it's because Roxanne Perez is so small she couldn't go through the middle, but I've never seen a suicide dive to the outside done through the bottom rope before, so it was weird, but it was good. Then she hits her pop rocks on the outside, rolls Mandy Rose in, looks like she's going to win, but then we get Cora Jade smacking Roxanne Perez with the title from behind, rolls her she falls into the ring. Then as she's getting up, she's like saying, why did you do that? And then out of nowhere, Mandy Rose hits her with a running knee. Mandy Rose gets the pin. Mandy Rose retains her title, and Roxanne Perez kind of just left in the ring. Cora Jade's staring her down. Cora Jade gets in and then starts beating her with the skateboard, but it was awkward because she went to hit her with the skateboard and the skateboard snapped in two before there was any contact. So obviously the skateboard was like fixed to it was tampered with so it would break upon contact, but it actually broke when she went to swing it. So yeah, that was a bit lame. And then she starts screaming, you took this for me, I brought you here, you're so selfish, blah blah blah, and just completely smacking the shit out of Roxanne Perez with the skateboard. I mean, I would probably let Cora Jade smack the shit out of me with the skateboard, but unfortunately I wasn't there. But I did call this, I think 2 weeks ago, I called this in one of my NXT reviews. Or maybe it was the one in the park, I don't know. But I did call that Cora Jade would turn on Roxanne Perez. I just didn't think there was any value with these two as a team, because I think Cora Jade's actually got a lot of potential as a single star, and I don't know a lot about Roxanne Perez, but I don't know, to me it seemed just a waste putting these two together as a tag team. I genuinely thought that they would be better as singles, and I did predict Cora Jade would turn heel, and that's exactly what she done tonight. I don't know if she's going to be a good heel. I think her character's more suited to being a face, but the way she went crazy tonight, I mean, I can definitely see it, so fair play to her, and it's going to be interesting with both of them being the champions, but obviously there's going to be massive fallout, but they're still the champions, so who knows, maybe expect them to lose the belts quickly, or maybe they're going to try and patch things up, or, I mean, who knows, but they're still the tag titles, so it's going to be weird. You know, we've got obviously Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, the champions, but now they're in a rivalry with each other. I don't know, it's going to be weird. But overall, guys, I thought this was a really, really good NXT. You know, the opening match was good. The main event was really good. Alright, the rest of the matches throughout the show, I didn't really care much for them, but I mean, the segments really made this show good. The Chase U University segment in London was brilliant. Pretty Deadly in the bar, I thought was really good. I liked the Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams celebrating on the penthouse. So, I mean, lots and lots of good stuff on this show. Even the JD Mcdonald, I liked it, I'm not going to lie. I really liked it. So, overall, I thought this was a good show. I'm going to give this episode of NXT 2.0, I'm going to get a 6 out of 10. I'm going to get a 6 out of 10. I don't know why Braun Breaker wasn't here tonight, by the way, so I don't know, he is the champion. A bit weird that he just like wasn't announced or no one even mentioned him, so I did think that was a bit weird, but yeah, regardless, interested to see how this whole Roxanne Perez Cora Jade thing plays out, especially with them being tag champs. It's going to be really weird, but yeah, no, I like this NXT, and I mean, so far it's been a pretty good week for wrestling. Decent Raw, decent NXT. Now we've got AEW tonight. We'll see what happens there, but that's it, guys. Leave the comments down below and tell me what you thought of this show, and if you liked it as good as I did, and yeah, what do you think of the main event? What do you think of Cora Jade as a heel? It's interesting. We'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll catch you later in the next one. Peace out for the shed.